Well, at one point you get arrested for assault and battery of a federal officer.
Yeah, when what they did is they did major raids throughout Southie, and they were raiding the stores of Whitey and stuff like that, and homes, and they were gathering information. They weren't arresting anybody, but they were gathering computers and information and stuff like that. So I happened to ride by to check it out because I got wind of it. I said, "Oh shit!" So I said, "Let me take off for a couple of days here." So I go to take off for a couple of days. I go to a secondhand car that I had. And I had the hood open of the secondhand car. And I go to shut the hood down, and the street was a line of federal agents. And then I turned around and looked, and there was another line of federal agents. So, excuse me, if I went to run, there was nowhere for me to go because they had so many agents from one sidewalk across the street to the other sidewalk, a line, literally a line. There was so many of them. And they said, "Where you going, Red?" "I'm not going anywhere. None of your business." "Well, we want to go into your home." I said, "You got a warrant?" "You know I got a fucking warrant." And then from there, that's, like I said, when me and Yellen don't get along, the anger come out of me, and we end up in a little fisticuffs, if you will. And of course, I wasn't going to win, no matter how tough I am, because it was just too many. I had an army against me. So they end up getting me, restrained me, cuffed me, brought me up into my place that overlooked Boston. It was a beautiful place in Southie. And they went through my whole apartment, searching for stuff. They didn't find any drugs or anything like that, but they did find plenty of bullets and guns. So that was one of the charges I was getting charged with, for the guns and stuff like that, and the bullets. They asked me, you have some heavy bullets here. Why do you have these caliber bullets? Where were the guns to that? Of course, I wouldn't answer them. And that was one of my charges. Having bullets, if you will. And then they arrested me for assault and battery on a federal officer. I was brought into court. I was the only one arrested that day. Nobody else got arrested. My attorney at the time, Tony Cardinelli, came, and I ended up getting out on bail. And when I knew that they were listening to myself now on the phones at my place. And of course, I had neighbors, and there was an older woman next door that knew me, and she knew my mom from years back, tight-knit Irish neighborhood. And the guy behind me, another Irish guy, tight-knit Irish neighborhood, American Irish, that is. And I said on the phone, I used that to my advantage. I said, yeah, I have the neighbors are coming out to my advantage for this assault and battery against a federal officer, and they witnessed everything. They're gonna come in on my behalf. Holy behold, they dropped the charges. That's because they had the big stuff coming from me.
Right. Because that arrest happened in 88?
No.
The DEA arrest, the whole assaulting the officer thing. That happened in 88?
It was 89, I believe.
89, right. Because in 1990, the big charges came down.
That is correct.
51 people from Whitey Bulger's crew were arrested, including yourself.
And I was the head of that.
Right. But what's interesting is that Whitey never got arrested.
And by the way, one of the FBI, we found out later When we get in, when a few of us were sent at the time to Danbury, Connecticut, when it was a men's prison, and that Monday, it was in the Boston Herald front page saying Whitey a canary because he didn't get indicted with us. So that was leaked by one of the FBI agents that he was dealing with, Morris, because he actually threatened Morris. And Morris figured, well, let me leak that to maybe, get him whacked. So the guys I were with were going, they seen the paper, and they said, Whitey's ratting. If he's ratting, we got a rat. I sat back at a young age, and all these guys are much older than me. I sat back, and I just watched, and I observed, and I listened. I was loyal to Whitey, because I didn't believe he was a rat. And I'm going to get to that even more.